Dear Excellencies, greetings from Brussels. We might be 12,000 kilometers apart, but we all feel the same systemic shocks. A new world order is in the making, but there are still many unanswered questions, including what final form this will take. We cannot take anything for granted. And one thing is clear. Those of us who want to be the architects in rebuilding a multilateral system rather than subjects of a system where only power counts must pull in the same direction. For the European Union, that is why partnerships are what count. It is why, for example, the EU has signed security and defense partnerships with Japan, Korea, and India most recently. These are bases from which we can address our shared security challenges together. We will soon conclude one with Australia. With Japan and with our Indo-Pacific partners, we are like-minded in many other ways. We share a commitment to multilateralism, human rights, and an international order based on rules. We stand up for these components because we see them as the foundations for peace, stability, and shared prosperity. There is also a clear convergence in our threat perceptions, whether we are talking about economic, cyber, or maritime security. Japan, in particular, has always been a top supporter of Ukraine. And this only reflects a shared understanding that security challenges in Europe and in the Indo-Pacific are intertwined. We know that the rise of unchecked aggression is a symptom of an expanding power-driven order, to borrow from the title of your conference. But the vast majority of countries want a world that is based on some kind of rules. We all see that a world governed by spheres of influence or coercion is not in the collective interest, because we still believe in the sovereignty of nations. And this guides our approach to economic security and resilience. We know dependencies make us weaker, so we expand the number of partners we trade with while we defend a predictable and fair global economic framework. This is especially important when military force, economic coercion, and technological leverage are increasingly being used to pursue national interests. For the European Union, trusted and reliable partnerships are what separates the weak from the strong. And they are ultimately what will determine whether we can dissuade the world from succumbing to the will of a few. Our commitment to maintain the rules-based international order by building win-win partnerships are part of our strategy for the entire Indo-Pacific. And there are so many ways we can work together to address new collective challenges. Take maritime security, for example, where the EU is working already at the multilateral level with countries in the Indo-Pacific. The global governance of artificial intelligence is another example that is crying out for a collective response. On cyber threats, in Brussels recently the EU and Japan committed to more coordinated diplomatic responses to cyber attacks and deeper exchanges on cyber defense and the protection of critical infrastructure, to name a few examples in this sphere. We also see a growing trend in our joint work to counter foreign information manipulation and interference. And this brings me back to the start. 12,000 kilometers does not change one's point of view when you share the same challenges and a fundamental belief that collective solutions will always prove their worth if they meet a collective need. But we must remain engaged. That's why I host the EU's Indo-Pacific Forum in Brussels annually. This is a vibrant ministerial gathering that provides guidance and a push for closer EU-Indo-Pacific cooperation on everything from economic and digital to green and maritime security issues. Let me thank you for organizing your conference around such an important theme. In the quest to strengthen multilateralism, you will always find support in Europe. Thank you and all the best.